Today, hi Jamie, it's good to see you too. So today we have Eric joining us. He is our lead visual designer on the Marketing Pro content team, as well as he works with ServiceTitan's brand. He has taken over projects such as presentations, PDFs, videos, email templates, direct mail templates are his primary projects, and also price book PDF templates. Eric really does it all, and it's a pleasure working with him. And we've learned a lot together when it comes to creating content for you. I'm Sarah Gerardo. I help manage the production of email and direct mail templates. And so today, Eric is going to walk us through some more advanced level designs and when it comes to email and direct mail templates. So feel free to turn on your cameras. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want. We're here to help. So I'm going to mute myself and let Eric take over the presentation.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. So today, primarily, I'm going to cover how to brand your emails and how to align them closer to your own brand that you already may have. So before we get started, I just want to share a quick deck here on a little background info on your visual identity when it comes to branding. So 1 second here. Okay, so this will be a quick guide on how to personalize ServiceTitan email templates around your visual brand. But what is a brand's visual identity? Just a little background here. So a visual identity is a collection of visual elements that serve to represent and differentiate a brand. More specifically, it refers to any visible components such as a logo or brand colors that help customers identify your brand. And here on the right, we have two pretty recognizable brands. And we know these two brands by not only their logo, but their colors. And logo is something I believe is everything, or is something you already have. And within that logo, there may be some colors that live there, and we can utilize those colors to your advantage. And color matters. Research shows that up to 85% of consumers believe color is the biggest motivator when choosing a particular product. Now, this may not exactly pertain to how your consumers choose your offerings, but I did want to highlight that color is important. And the consistent use of color in your branding creates recognition over time. Again, everybody knows McDonald's, their iconic red and gold. And their consistent use of that over time has made their brand instantly recognizable. Here on top, we have McDonald's website. Pretty simple overall. They use their red and their gold. On the right here, we have one of their email examples. Same thing, gold and red. Here we have a billboard, different medium, but again, gold and red. And lastly, a Facebook ad. Again, gold and red. When it comes to McDonald's, it doesn't matter what type of advertising, their use of colors is consistent. That consistency creates brand recognition. But why am I talking about colors? Well, color is the easiest element that you can adjust today in our templates to personalize and align with your brand. Here on the right, we have one of our HVAC templates, and I've actually gone ahead and branded it to McDonald's. Obviously, they're not in the HVAC business, but we all are familiar with McDonald's. But just by changing the colors in the template, we've aligned it with their branding, and everything else has remained the same. And I just want to pause here to let you know that this deck will be available to everybody, and there'll be some further readings on not only the visual aspects of what creates your brand. There's some additional components if you'd like to read into that. why colors matter, how to choose the right colors for your brand, consistency, and the most important one down here at the very end is our color palette generator. And I'll show you why this is important. So if your company or brand doesn't already have a set color palette that you're utilizing, we can use some online service to pull those colors from your logo. Your logo may already have some colors that you may not be aware of that you're not incorporating in your marketing. And here on the right, I just chose a random plumbing company that I found here locally to myself, and I pulled some colors from their logo, and I'll show you how we take these colors and incorporate them into our email template. One second. Okay. Here we go. So this is the Coolers color palette generator. This is essentially an online color palette generator, but this is not the important part. It actually has a cool little feature here where you can drag and drop an image and you can pull the colors from it. So I'm going to drop this plumbing logo in here. And you can pull the colors from this. You want to select one of these little boxes down here. You can drag the little cursor here, and we'll pull that blue color from there. And I want to grab this red one, which is back here. And then maybe this dark blue here as well. And then we'll just delete these last two. Actually, that's purple. Here we go. It's blue color. And we can hit next. Actually, didn't pull the blue ones. Whoa. So we have the colors here. Let me try this again real quick. And save them. And if you have any questions as far as where I'm at now, just go ahead and drop them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them. We're just pulling the colors, deleting the extras, and then we go to next, open in generator, and we have our color palette here. Now, what you want to do is take note of these numbers down here. This is the color hex value, and this is what we'll be using to adjust the colors in the email templates. So you can save these in a doc or write them down, have them somewhere handy where you're ready to design your template. So let's dive into a template. So for this example, we have here a flood template around a flood notice. So this is what our template looks like in our gallery at the moment, but we're going to adjust this to fit within this local plumbing brand that I found online. First thing I did is added our logo there. And if you are all not familiar with our email editor, up here on the right is all our functions for the editor. This is your content blocks. And this is essentially every aspect of the email template in which you can edit and add. And then we have our rows and the settings for those rows. The first thing I would like to do here is actually change this background color. It's a little dark. And since we'll be adjusting the colors in the template, I want to start with something a little more neutral.
Hey, Eric, real quick, on the logo above, do you recommend that size to leave the logo at about 20%? Or what if they wanted it bigger?
It's a preference. You could adjust it larger here in the content, or I'm sorry, in the settings. So anytime you need to adjust something on a template, you want to highlight that element, and it'll bring up its settings on the right, and you can just drag it to the right or to the left to adjust its size. Maybe a little bigger is better there. But I do want to change this dark blue color background here, and you can see that in the settings, we have a little box here that adjusts the background color. And you can just drag your cursor anywhere on here and it'll change the color. But I'm gonna go with a little, like slightly off gray. And then all the elements that have changed, you can barely see, we'll adjust those. Okay, so we have our logo. We're gonna utilize the colors within this logo. So I'm gonna go back here really quick. And I'm gonna highlight this light blue and copy that. And I'm gonna utilize that color. So just so everyone's aware, the box I'm in right now is considered a row. Let me just highlight that for you. So we have a row here. And within this row, we have a column. And within that column, we have our content. So I want to adjust the background color to this row here. As you can see here, we can change here, but I'm going to apply that light blue I just took from our palette and just going to paste it in here. Now we've taken that light blue from that logo and applied it to our template. And it's important to use the colors sparingly as well. You don't want to just plaster the email with all these colors. You want to use them in a manner where you're still leaving some white. That creates easy legibility. So just be cautious of how much of those colors you're using. Be strategic, I guess is what I'm saying. I know there's a red here in this logo, and maybe we can apply it to the call to action button. Again, you want to click into the item in which you want to edit. And we'll find the background color to this button. Again, you can just choose it from here, but I want to go back to this, and I'm going to use this red. I'm just going to drop it, paste it in here. Now we got some of that red in there. I mean, we've only adjusted two elements of this template, and you can already see it's kind of starting to come together, and it's aligning closer to this Plumbing Boys logo and brand. So now we're just kind of scrolling through this template and seeing where we could apply some more colors. Now I'm thinking maybe in this section here. And I just want to point out one other thing here. We have a row again, but there's something different about this row. We actually have two columns in this row. And when you have two columns in a row, each column will have its own settings. So just be sure that when you need it, change the settings to one of these columns that you're clicked into the appropriate column. So I'm going to adjust this one on the left first.
So how do we know if there's too much color?
So a good rule is essentially less is more. So again, white space creates balance. You want to use color sparingly. When you oversaturated the template with too much color, you'll notice that it's more difficult to distinguish what the message is overall. What's important here is the message. We're not, I guess the way to look at it is you're not decorating this template. You're just adding some of your recognizable brand to it. So just be aware that white is important. It's important not to view white as free real estate to add things. It's also a very important part of the design. So keep that in mind. You know, we'll get through the email and we can decide, is this enough? Is this not enough? Do we have opportunities to use a little more color somewhere else? But just remember that less is more, and the text, what you're trying to convey in the message, still needs to be the most important part. So for example, this row here, we're gonna leave this row here white. We already have a lot going on here with the blue color up top, the photograph here, and then we have our introductory to our message. So we're gonna leave that white. That's a key part of the message and email. So let's leave that is how it is for now. And we'll go ahead and move into these sections here. Another thing I'd like to point out actually is a good way to view the structure of these emails is to look at, or to view them in an upside down triangle. And what do I mean by that? I'll show you here in a second. It's not working. Okay, so my marker is not working anymore. Second. Here we go. Okay, so upside down triangle. And what do I mean by this is an upside down triangle or a funnel is what we're doing is we're funneling the most important information down to a call to action. So we have your logo, we have a header, and then our call to action. And this continues down the rest of the email. So it's a good way to remember that certain parts of this email need to remain legible, and maybe to apply color to the other surrounding areas. Okay, so let's just get into this section here and we'll adjust these colors. So the color I want to adjust is this box here. It's a good opportunity to continue adding some branding. And I think we'll use this same blue color up here. And you can just come back up to this block and copy it directly from there. Apply it here. Actually, column down here. And we'll apply it to the right column. We'll go back and adjust this color of the text, but I just want to quickly go through here. Change those colors. We'll do this last one down here on the left. Okay, and then just want to change this color of this header text up here. You can see the color here on the right. Just going to drag it over to the white. Same thing here. Drag it to the left. Looks a little better. Maybe we'll do this black text as well.
So Jamie had a good question. She asked, where can I enter my logo colors as favorites or save them somehow?
You know, that's a really great question because it can get really repetitive to have to constantly change these colors. The only thing I can think of So we don't have that function here.
Yeah, the current model, it'll save the colors like if you use them a lot, but it doesn't really save them as brand colors. So I think that's a great improvement that we can look into B to see if we can, because I know we'd like to save rows and we'd like to save other things inside of this, inside of
yeah,
that.
it's something that we've brought up in the past to our developers, and I think it's something we're currently working on to be able to build this overall brand with images, not only colors, your logo, and do the work once, and then I'm not have to repeatedly do it every time you want to do an email. But great question. It's something we'll have to bring back up to the developers and see if we can incorporate something like that.
Yeah, and go ahead and post that idea in the community, and then we'll have we always have our marketing pro product experts in there, or our product managers. Go ahead and take a look and see what we can do that'll help you and benefit you.
Right. Yeah. This we're always looking to improve this email editor. So your feedback is most important.
Yeah.
We'll definitely take that into consideration.
This looks really nice, and all you did was change colors.
Right. Yeah. It's we haven't done much to it, but we have changed it to better align it with the brand here at Plumbing Boys. And it was really fast and really easy. And I think I'm going to change this last box here to their other color red. I'm just going to copy it here. And a good way to choose as well, or decide when you're going to change the color of a section, is to look at the messaging itself. Also, when you're writing your email message, is to break up the copy into sections based on subject. These boxes here, they're all essentially tips on things a homeowner can do to prepare for a flood. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And then this final box here, it actually changes subjects, and it's a promotional offer. So it's a good opportunity to highlight that by using this logo's red color here. So by breaking this up, it creates for the reader, it's a lot easier to digest all this information. And we're almost done here. I'm going to stay consistent with this color and change this button down here to the same red. Another trick here is you can always copy elements and just drag them down. And we'll just delete this one. And this button seemed a little too far down away from the text, so I'm going to adjust that with its padding. And what padding is essentially the space between this element and this top element here.
Now, is there a trick to padding? Because sometimes it goes wonky, and then say if we accidentally added padding to those boxes, when it goes on email via mobile, sometimes it can go overlap each other. So is there like a certain amount of padding that we'd want to keep?
Yeah. So when you're adjusting the space in this desktop view, it's always important to also preview throughout your build to see how it's affecting its mobile view. And a good rule of thumb too is you don't want to have elements too crowded next to each other. You want to look at it as breathing room. You want to have a little bit of space, but you also don't want to have so much space in between that the elements don't appear to belong to one another. This button is obviously associated to this call to action here, so it needs to be relatively close so that the reader knows that the button is associated with that. But you can see throughout this build here, there's just a little bit of space surrounding all the text on the left, on the right, top and bottom. And it's just essentially breathing room. It makes for better readability. Design-wise, it looks a lot better. I wish I could say like, 10 pixels, 25 pixels is like the standard. I can't say like at 10 pixels is you're probably good if you want to use that as a base number, as long as there's something there, 5 to 10. As you get more confident in how you lay these out, you can play with that.
And just so you know, when our designers design the templates, they put in this space intentionally for the build. So really the templates you can utilize them right out of the box, and just if you wanted to change your colors. We're teaching you how to more utilize your brand, because we've been getting those questions. Others have been uploading HTML, they have been doing all these things, but really the designers that are working with the product are working with trade specific industries. So they are learning, they are knowing and working with these templates so that you don't have to do a lot of work. Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate
Correct.
that.
Yeah,
And same
I'm
with
sorry.
copy. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. We've already taken the time to do the hard work. The emails have been tested. They function properly in email or on mobile, on desktop. So if you can, I would refrain from messing too much with those elements as far as spacing and whatnot. But I know sometimes your copy may be longer, or you might add additional content, and you'll have to adjust that spacing. But just be aware that changing all those elements, it's important to make sure that you send yourself a test email before you finalize and send a final email. Another thing I want to point out too is when you're viewing in mobile and you're editing in mobile, here on the left, or on the right, I'm sorry, you have this little button that says mobile. So if you were to adjust the spacing in mobile, and this little blue button is highlighted, that change will only apply to mobile view. It will not affect the spacing on desktop view. So, which is pretty cool. It's something that was recently implemented. So it's a nice little trick. So if something doesn't look right when you're viewing in mobile, you can come in here and adjust that, and it'll only affect the mobile view. But that's essentially it. We haven't done much here. We've only changed a few colors here on some content blocks, and we've aligned this and personalized this to plumbing boys. And most of our emails you can do this on. I do want to point out that some of our emails are designed around a theme, meaning it could be a holiday, it could be a seasonal theme. So the colors on those templates sometimes won't be as easy to change, but just know that it's for that reason, that they've been designed around a theme. But pretty easy overall. This is something that you guys can start doing today to align with your brand. Do we have any other additional questions that I can answer for anyone, or walk through some unknowns that issues you're struggling with?
Does anyone have any questions? Laura, do you have any questions when it comes to the designs or how to utilize the templates? There are over 500 email templates in there, and all of the templates have strategic strategy behind it when it comes to marketing in the trades. So if you think about it, we have membership templates for expiring memberships, member invoices due. We have existing customers for services due. We've got brand new reoccurring service templates. to help the trades battle the e-commerce side of things. So, yeah, we are always looking for more template ideas to help your businesses. And I know a lot of you are doing multiple trades, so we've got templates in there for that as well to do the different services. Eric, do you want to show them how to do that just with Canva really quickly in direct mail, or do you want to go on to your next subject? I don't know how.
This is everything I had planned for today. The Canva, as far as how to bring existing templates that you may have designed into Canva, is actually going to be pretty lengthy. So I wanted to save that for our next
another one. Yeah. Okay.
Because it'll be a lot to take in, and I don't want to rush through it. So I think it'll be a good subject to cover for our next one.
Awesome. So does anyone have any questions about any of the templates that are inside of for email? Because we'll kind of go through that. And now what if someone wanted to upload their HTML into here and like utilize their old existing templates?
Yeah, I can show you how you can do that very quickly. So say we wanted to insert, let me just, we'll just do it in here. Say we wanted to insert some kind of existing HTML design that you may have into this email. It could be like a coupon, it could be some block of messaging. We have an HTML block here where it's actually this one here, kind of hard to see, but here on the right, where you would essentially just drop in your HTML code. You would copy that wherever it may live and drop it in here. And it would essentially translate into the design here. I don't have an example. I don't have any copy to show you, but the content block for that is this here. You would just drag it in, go into the settings,
awesome,
cut and paste, and it'll appear. It's important though to point out that I would not suggest taking HTML or an image with embedded copy and that being your sole email of just a large image with copy in it, because it could be flagged as spam. So you want to have live text in there somewhere. It's important to remember.
Yeah, everything is, and that's another thing, is we design for email deliverability. Same with the subject line. So if we have set subject lines in there that you can choose that we've been graded on as well. So everything is designed from the actual design of the email to the subject line to the preview text to ensure that you get deliverability when it comes to the back end of email service providers. And okay, we had 2 questions. Laura asked if it's possible to do gradients with colors.
It is yes and no. So you cannot create a live gradient with this color tool, but what you can do, so in Canva you can create gradients. You can pull a gradient as an image, and you can bring it into the email, and you could drop it in as a background image in any of these content blocks. But to answer your question, no, you cannot create gradients in this email editor. And there isn't really an email editor that exists that can do that. The workaround that I just spoke about is the same way that you would incorporate a gradient into traditional HTML email building. Yeah, it would just be a static image.
Got it. And if you could go to the one that we just did for repair versus replace, that template, always hit save, just so you know.
Yeah, We won't be saving this, so we're
We
okay.
won't be saving this, but you can go to the new, click new on the featured side up top,
Oh, here you
and it's only giving you one. That's fine. Okay, unclick new.
go. What's the name of the template?
Type in unsold estimates. There you go. That one, the repair replace, right there. Now we'll be renaming that one in a bit after this is done. Right. So Jamie wants to learn how to change the colors of the icons in the middle, like the clock, the tools. Those look like pings.
Yeah, so these icons are actually images. So the only way we could change these, again, you could go into Canva, you can create new icons.
What
Choose
happens when you put apply effects and more, that button?
So that is actually only to change the size or crop the size of the image. It'll let you draw over it, add additional shapes or filters. I mean, you could technically change the color by filter, but on a granular level, you couldn't change the colors individually.
Yeah, yeah.
But you could create your own icons in Canva, and they don't have to be exactly these. Something that pertains to the copy here. You know, a refrigerator. It doesn't have to be this exact refrigerator, but you can do that in Canva, save them as a JPEG, PNG, and you can just drop and change them here. This was a good example of, you know, sometimes our emails are designed around a theme. We are working towards creating emails that are more evergreen, where every element is editable. As we come to find out that our tenants would like more of that freedom. But unfortunately, this icon cannot be, the colors cannot be changed.
Yeah, email editors are a little bit different, right? In creating templates, we're giving you templates so that you don't have to do the work, and everything that you use, basically your website, you know, your landing pages, all of these are templates. And so you can edit certain things and some you can't inside of the editors.
Right.
So look at, yeah, yeah.
This it's important to remember that this editing tool is it's made it possible for people that have no coding experience to be able to design their own emails. Prior to that, it was a very, and it still is a very convoluted process to create emails from scratch. So it's important to remember that this editor has its boundaries, but it's for that reason. You know, it's an easy way to you know, get started. If you were to want to, you know, learn how to edit emails on a more granular level, it would be a larger learning curve.
Most definitely. I remember emails would take me all day to design, and then I was
Yeah,
like,
one email could take one email could take a you know, a few hours to design on a traditional level. But yeah, rest assured, we're working to, you know, create more emails that are 100% editable. That way, you guys can change colors and, you know, do whatever it is that you'd like to do these.
Did you say they're called icons in Canva? So
Yeah, so let me elaborate on that. These are icons. They're essentially just illustrations. The way that these images are being used, like this clock here, is just a design term, icon. What it is just an illustration. So you could go into Canva, you could search a clock illustration, you could save it out. Doesn't matter what size, because you can compress the size in the editor. So don't let that term icon throw you off. There are certain design elements that make up an icon, but for the most part, they're just vector illustrations. There are some free services out there if you Google free icons, where you can browse libraries of free icons, and they cover different industries, different topics. You can search for what you're in need for, and then just save them in a folder, and you can use them. I believe there are some services out there where you can actually change the color directly on the website, so you don't have to, illustrate anything from scratch.
Yep, most definitely. Canva is a great tool. If you're doing Canva, when you download it, make sure you don't have a background, so it's a transparent background. But in Clean Ping, that's a great place to get, items that don't have a background that you can utilize. But don't go overboard and don't overthink your templates. And I think that's what a lot of us do when it comes to templates. We think, well, what if the competitor down the street is using the exact same thing? Well, they're probably not. One of you isn't sending a message because you're both thinking the same thing, right? First off. And second of all, is it really your ideal client if they're using the same, two different contractors? And there's just a lot of things to think about when it comes to utilizing templates. The other thing is, more than likely, they are not taking action the same way you would, because you provide remarkable service. And so with your logo, it's going to have a different feeling to that client and that customer than another person's logo. So templates are there to help you get started faster, because marketing has a lot of wasted time as marketers, finding and creating the perfect content. And there is just simply no perfect content out there, because content is imperfection. So yeah, those are our tips for, helping brand your own brand within the email templates. Are there any other questions that we could help you? Do you know how to load a GIF inside of here? Can you show that really quickly?
Yeah. So say we wanted to replace this static icon with an animated GIF, we could easily do that. One second. I don't see the GIF button here. One second.
I think you upload it as it's something different, either an image and then
Yeah,
it's through.
I'll show you here now. I'll show you. There's another way to do it, but I'm just gathering a GIF here. One second.
And
okay.
Yeah.
So when you want to add a GIF, essentially it's an image with movement, and it'll have a file format at the end of the file name, GIF, a GIF, and you drag it over as you would any image, and it should animate within the email. So yeah, there's a abundance of free GIF resources online. You'll be surprised how granular they get. So there might be some for your industry or whatever you may have in mind as far as using. And yeah, you just save it as you would any image, just drag it over, and it'll animate within the email.
Yeah, that's awesome. Video, as long as the video so video, GIFs, movement inside of emails, those capture attention. And so you'll notice that some of our templates have spots for your videos. You can upload them from Vimeo or from YouTube. And those get really great click-through rates because they want to continue to see what the message is. I've seen some great videos for after a job is completed and it's by a certain technician, and it's really just this person saying thank you for even being allowed to come out. And I thought that was a really great idea. I've seen videos to introduce the brand, gifts for holidays that are super fun, and gifts for, you know, movements and all sorts of different types of design tricks that I've seen inside of emails that have great deliverability, open rates. Remember, our open rate goal is to be over 20%. That's not going to happen overnight. There are your email is going to go out. The majority of them will either open or receive it at a certain time that you send, and then it'll still trickle in. So you'll look at the data from, you know, a 7-day time period to a 30-day time period to see what's still trickling in. And those automated ones for unsold estimates and things like that, they will continue to trickle in as you go along, because new people will fall in and out of those audiences each day. So we've got about 10 minutes left. Are there any other questions that we can help assist you with building email templates? Something that you've run into that you just keep getting stuck on with the rows? Nope, we've gotten, oh. I have an unrelated, yeah, go for it. What's an unrelated question, Jamie? Oh, what are the price book PDF templates, Eric? Wink, wink. So this is an awesome project that Eric has been working on with the price book team. And it is a test that they are currently doing, but yeah, I mean, you might as well show it. It's kind of cool.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about it. So price book PDFs are essentially one-pagers that cover any given service within price book that you would offer. And with that PDF, essentially, let's say, for example, it's a HVAC refrigerant leak, and that service requires an inspection and a recharge. So that PDF will cover the issue, the fix, the frequency of scheduled maintenance for that unit, what the technician intends to do, the benefits the customer receives if the technician is to perform that service, and then, excuse me, as well as the negative effects for that customer if the customer decides not to have that service performed. So what it is essentially is it's a selling tool that lives on a technician's tablet. So if a technician arrives to a customer's house, he has it already up on his tablet. He can hand it over to the customer. They themselves can review what it is exactly that's about to be performed or what the technician is offering. And we have found that some of our tenants are actually using it as a training tool. So say you have a new technician that's come on, he's not familiar with the services that your business offers. It gives him a little more confidence to pull up to the job, take a moment to sit in the truck and review this PDF on, say, like a plumbing job. He has all the important information on why that service is important, and it's been very helpful. It's been very, very well received. Yeah, I would definitely suggest that if it's something that sounds like it's a value for your business, to reach out and take a look at those. And if we have time here, I could probably share one.
Yeah, go ahead and share one, because it is really cool. It's a great project, and we're always looking for other ways to produce more content for you so that it's kind of an out-of-box solution. So we're working on brand kits as well, which is a test we have one for our filter subscription. I'll talk while you pull that up, Eric. So go ahead and pull it up. And what that is it'll have a social media post, a display banner ad, email, a direct mail template in 2 different sizes. Because with direct mail, we are working towards a new format size for our direct mail. So we have been creating templates for future product builds. And so the exciting thing is it all just pushes your brand together. But the Pricebook PDF templates have such an amazing impact because our technicians always need more training. Our team always needs more training on product. Companies build these and put them together to make sales presentations when they are on the call. So it really it's another aid. It's another tool in your toolbox to utilize. So we're really excited about this, and the Pricebook team has done an amazing job. And Eric and Angelica, our copywriter, have been working with that team to design things like this for y'all.
So if everyone can see my screen here, I'll share 2 that we've created recently, and we'll give you some info. So these can be pretty simple, and then they can also be pretty in-depth. It just depends on the service. Sometimes services are pretty simple. Other times it can be pretty complicated, but this one specifically here is for electrical. So say a contractor was pulling up and he's diagnosed that the contactor switch is bad for whatever this unit may be. He hands over this his tablet to the customer. The customer themselves can read through this PDF and get a better sense of and understanding of what the issue is, the typical service schedule for that broken part or unit, signs of signs that they can self-identify that the service is possibly needed, the benefits, and then the negatives of either having or not having the service performed. And it's been, again, really successful so far. Sometimes I know a technician can explain what's wrong. I know I've been in that situation where a mechanic is explaining something to me and I kind of understand, but I'm more of a visual learner, so they're able to actually read it through this themselves and feel more confident and have more trust in the technician that they are receiving the correct service.
Yeah.
Another example.
Yeah, and the great thing about this is that there are so many different trades that ServiceTitan aligns to that we realize the need for this, and we're working towards really focusing on how can we produce more not with the bandwidth we have, but get more people, because one price book for HVAC could have well over I don't know, what did Brandon say? I think like thousands of items, right? When you think about it.
Yeah,
So,
we have there's just so many things in there that need to be covered, but
so we're working on it as we go, and hoping to build this out more in the next, especially in the next year. It's going to be more on the content roadmap with the Pricebook PDF template or team, and we're excited to really get in there and see how we can leverage these to help add value to your companies.
Definitely. Yeah. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. We're continuing to work on that, but been seeing great results so far.
Yeah. So if you guys have any other questions, you can let us know. We have about 4 minutes left. I don't know. Do you have a copy of the brand kit that you could show? It's on the Asana board, the last one.
Let me take a look here for you.
For the filter subscription one. And then we'll end with that so I can show you how we're looking to expand content to really help bring value, but also make sure that you have what you need. The other forms of content that we're thinking about bringing in are, think about how the training content that you might need, or how we can leverage the customer portal or the content portal inside for technicians and for your team. So there's a lot of growth inside of content, and we're really excited to help any way that we can. So send any ideas our way, and we'd be more than happy to throw them on the drawing board.
Yeah, I have it up here if everybody would like to take a look at it.
Yeah, let's show the last one and then we'll end it with a bang. So as you can see, this is, we released the email and direct mail template out to all of you last week in regards to an HVAC subscription offer. Again, there are lots of trades, so we are working on this as a test, and slowly we'll provide links to this in an email from our marketing team. But what this is it kind of talks about exactly what, you know, Eric was talking about, creating consistency in our marketing messaging. And for filter subscriptions, as we all know, we're going into this recession-ish period. And so being having more value adds to our offerings can help reoccurring revenue streams. And so this is why we are starting to build for helping you with reoccurring revenue streams, but also helping you understand that, you know, there is consistency inside of your marketing, and we want to be able to provide value as we build products that will hopefully be able to use these one day. So yeah, we have display ads, direct mail templates. We researched the display ads that were got the best responses, and so that is the leaderboards and all of that's how the dimensions were chosen. So yeah, with that, Eric, do you have anything else?
No, you know, if you ever have questions, reach out to Sarah, and we'll be happy to set up another webinar and get more specific on other subjects. If anybody would like to do one on Canva and you have any questions regarding Canva, we'll be happy to dive into that.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, thank you all for joining, and I will, yes, please, Canva. We'll work on Canva. And I'll probably drop a question as to what would you like to learn in Canva, because there is a lot in the Marketing Pro Facebook group and the community. I have taught a lot, but it's mainly from trial and error, Jamie. But anyways, it was great seeing you all, and thank you so much for joining. We will definitely send this out via email within the next week, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Tons of love and light. Bye.
Bye.